Greetings. Today I want to just talk briefly about combining voices in a tarot reading or a reading, let's call it a reading. I saw a video, I was watching a video made by Kelly at Truth and Story about combining, she does something called a three voices reading, which I was very intrigued by that, and I just used it in a reading I did for someone, and I really liked it a lot because it sort of gave, the voices gave different viewpoint, and not different viewpoint, they answered different parts of questions that she had asked. When I do readings for people, very often I will get no question at all. People have no question, they just want to see what the energies are. That's very common. And in that case, usually I can just do, maybe I'll do a Celtic Cross, or I'll do one of my other readings, something else. Like I do a modified cross. A lot of times when I do short little readings, like for when I do psychic fairs and things like that, the 15-minute readings, I do like a 5-card reading, maybe pulling up to 7 or 8 cards in addition, but just quickly, which gives me a lot of information quickly. And I just use a deck, and usually I just match up a deck that the person likes. But every once in a while I get somebody with a specific question, and they really want to know a specific answer. They want to know an answer, and sometimes when we just reading tarot cards, sometimes the answer just is not there. It gives a lot of possibilities, but it doesn't necessarily give an answer. Now, I'm not a big favor of giving an answer. Like, I don't do yes or no. I wouldn't do an answer yes or no. But necessarily when I'm reading tarot cards, I don't like to do it necessarily. It's not that appropriate usually, because I think things change. This reading represents a particular time and a place, which, as soon as we leave this time and place, things can change. People have free will, things happen where people are involved. So, as far as fortune telling, future telling, whatever, I don't think tarot normally holds up that well. It does really well at reading energies like that are present right now in our situation. And those are very positive. It's very good to know those energies going forward, because if things do not change, these energies, and if they're very strong, they will very likely affect at least the immediate future. So that gives us a very clear reading that way. But if somebody's asking particularly, do you think, my marriage is likely to hold up? Or do you think, this job that I'm going to be taking is going to be a good job for me? Or, do you think this is really a good time for me to start my own business? Those kinds of questions. Well, we can get a rather clear answer from tarot. I think we have an opportunity here with using different voices, like Kelly has shown us, to get a really pretty clear answer. And what I did for this reading, first of all, I want to say her example in the three voices reading, if I'm not mistaken, gave me an opportunity to use Lenormand cards, which I don't use very often. I do use them in combination. I don't normally read them alone. I use them in combination. I have a Celtic Cross combo spread that I created years ago that I had great success with. I still do it from time to time, where I combine Lenormand cards with the Celtic Cross to give me some more clarification on the Celtic Cross. In this case, we're using the Lenormand cards as really the focus of the reading, to answer the questions of the focus of the reading. And then she pulled in the energies of the elements to how those will affect the focus. And then some oracle cards to give a little bit of broader spectrum to the focus. And I loved this, and I used this for this, like I said, this reading that I just did, and it worked very well. And I'm going to show you why I like the combination so much, and I might be doing more of that. I'm not bringing any oracle cards right now to show you, because the oracle cards that I used for the reading, first of all, I used the Lenormand. I used the Mystical Lenormand. Mystical Lenormand. Where's the box? I don't know. It looks like this. Mystical Lenormand. Supposedly fashioned after the cards used to read for Napoleon's wife. Let's put it in here. Put it. Quit. Josephine. She was the woman who read for her, was very famous at the time, and this deck is supposedly fashioned after the deck that she used. And I like it. I like the imagery. It's very good for the Lenormand deck. I use that. I use my Druidcraft Tarot. And then I use the accompanying Animal Oracle deck that was also, that one was illustrated by Will Worthington, just like the Druidcraft, so that, of course, it goes really well together. It looks good. It gets good when you put it together. I can't really show you. I don't have the spread really anyway laid out. But when they're together on the table, they complement each other. When I combine cards, we want it to be aesthetically pleasing, as well as we want them to cooperate well together. So being of a genre that is kind of close is helpful. But the reason that I like this spread was that the Lenormand cards are so to the point. That's what Lenormand cards give, and that's why some people like them, and that's why some people don't like them. Because they give you straightforward information, not a lot of wiggle room in there, and they don't really give you anything to contemplate. They don't give you really anything, any reasoning behind it, or any influences from whatever. I mean, they kind of do, and I know people are going to say, oh, yes, they do. You can do past, present, future. You can do all kinds of ways to read. I understand that, but it is still very limited information. Okay? When you see a card, the house is the house. I don't know if you can see these. These are really small, but that's the card that's the house. The house is the house, period. It's your home. It's your place where your family is, or your place where your roommate is, or your place where you're, it's where you live. It's where you spend your time. It's where you seek solace from the world, comfort. It's your center. It's your center in the world. And that's what it means. The house means the house. Cards are straightforward. There's not the depth of meaning that you would find in the tarot cards. Okay? So I really liked it. I really did a good job. I mean, I think it read a really good, the reading that I got for this person, she said was spot on. It really answered her question. It really answered her question, I think. Gave her a lot of information. But first we did the Lenormand cards. And to give you an example of what I mean by straight on, I'm not doing a layout. I just have a couple pairs of cards, because the Lenormand cards are read in a sentence. If you're not familiar, they're read in 2 or 3 cards in a row, like in a sentence. Like here I have the house. Next to it I have the clouds. And next to it I have the anchor. Okay? And those 2 cards are read together initially. The house, the clouds, the anchor. The house having to do with your home. The clouds having to do with something like a cloud over it, like something that is, something not good, something disruptive, something negative about the house. And especially where the dark cloud is. You see there's dark clouds and light clouds. And then the anchor has to do with your job or career or job. So if you read it in order, you can see that the clouds are on the side of the house. So there's going to be some kind of what am I doing here? There's some kind of a unhappy home. The home is not a happy place. It's not a good place. But for the work, so it's like house, clouds, work. It's almost reading like the house. There's something that's going to happen at home that's not good. probably as a result of the work. Where the work is good, the work will not suffer. The house will suffer. When the work is good, the house suffers. Success at your career, not so good at home. Probably as a result of one because the other. Or work improves because things, some of the demands in the house have lessened for whatever reason. Okay, so that's really a straightforward sentence. We can also have another straightforward sentence when we go down another direction we have the anchor, and we have the fox, and we have the mice. Now this is rather a negative thing as well. This is something like the job or the career, the job. There's something, trickery or deceit or something involved for this fox. And then there's a loss, and there's some kind of a loss as a result. So maybe the job is not what you think it's going to be, and as a result you're going to lose somebody. In this case, it might be that you're going to lose your home or something to do with your family. So that's just sort of black and white, and it's kind of just in your face. But now I have 4 cards here from the Druid Craft, and when you put 4 cards with it, now of course there's going to be other cards in the spread. I would do this as a 9 cards in a square. It's not actually a square. It's called a square. But that's the way I would read with 9 of these cards. And I will do a video, if I think about it, I'll do a video just with a sample reading of this. But in the meantime, you could also look at Kelly and the Truth of the Story. She offers hers. But anyway, this is the do a 9 card. And I also did not want to get too close to the reading that I did for this person last week. But anyway, asking for the elements, we asked for the fire, the fire element of fire to offer some advice, and the element of fire offers the 9 of Swords, which is saying, as far as fire goes, it's eating you alive. This whole something is these thoughts of the swords. This anguish, something in the mind, it's like mind games. It's like a nightmare playing over and over in your head. Something that's just hasn't been going well, and it's encouraging you to look at it from a different angle. Look at it from a different viewpoint. Open your eyes and look. Don't look in your mind's eye. Don't look in the dream state, but open your eyes and really look and see if it's as bad as you think it is. So maybe in this case, the problems at home were maybe not as important. Maybe not important, or maybe they can be handled in a different way without affecting the job. Okay, so that comes from the element of fire. We have the element of air. I'm offering the 6 of Swords in this reading. The 6 of Swords is the picture. Yes, things have been kind of bad, but we're going in a new direction. Maybe this is not the right job for you, but maybe there's something that's going to lead you off into something better. Something better. And we see a couple in this boat, which sort of implies that a marriage is going to be, or a partnership is going to be lasting. Whatever it is that the problem was, is going to be lasting. Okay? Or, we can see from the Ace of Cups here, in the water position, the element of water, that this is opening ourselves to a new relationship or a new kind of relationship with the same person or with somebody new. So that's something to add into the reading. And then a reminder here from the Earth, the energy of the Earth, the 10 of Wands, not to try to carry everything and be burdened by everything all alone. That it is not up to you to suffer in silence all alone, but to bring in people, here probably from your home, to help you with this issue. Anyway, if I had more cards, I would have more to say. But you see very clearly, I think you can see, that the Lenormand cards, while they were very black and white and gave you some really direct answers, adding the tarot cards on top of them, they really married well together. It gave a little bit more information of maybe what the issues were, but also what can happen as a result, where we can go from here. Oh, maybe this is not so good. Maybe the house isn't going to stand from the job. But maybe what's going to happen beyond that? Can we get beyond it? Can we repair it? Can we, the tarot's going to give you those kind of answers. I understand the Lenormand can too, but I love the openness of the tarot cards because it's nothing is black and white. as, yes, this is going to happen, this is going to know, this is going to, because the tarot cards, you see, have a depth to their meaning. Now, when we added the animal oracle, we of course were adding the energies of the animals. The animals was, in addition, that was one card or two cards adding. And those were wonderful. And for me, it was like, I think we did I don't know if we did a don't do this, but do this, or we just had the energies in there. I can't recall, but you can do anything. You can do those kind of readings. But you can just add one animal oracle, one oracle on top to get a general theme. Or again, not. This worked really well. Anyway, I did this, and I'm going to do, for when I go to the Psychic Fair on Saturday, I'm going to take Lenormand cards and this tarot deck, and just for those people who do have specific questions. I remember I think the first time I read at this fair, one of the queries that I had was insistent upon whether she was going to change careers or not, and she was insistent, and the tarot cards were really not giving me much of an answer. And the only thing I had to tell her, we resulted to using a pendulum. The energy of the pendulum to help us, which she was very satisfied, but I was not so satisfied with, because I really wanted to see more information from the cards, and I was not getting them. It just wasn't getting them. And I think if I would have had the Lenormand deck in there, I could have had a better focus in that situation when we're outdoors and everybody's energies are involved. Having a deck that has structure to it, like a Lenormand does have that structure, really helps to focus, get in tight on that focus, zoom in on the focus, and really get the facts from that. But then again, we can soften the edges by using the elements. We can soften the edges by using do this, don't do that, or by saying just adding energies onto it, whatever. So in those cases, these are really good times to put voices together. Now, just for general reading, I think, one deck is fine for general reading. Some people do this all the time. Some people like to combine decks all the time. But with me, it's limited, and it's only for when I have a good reason. And when I do combine decks, I like them to be really work together. I like the images to lay well beside each other, and to have the aesthetic of being something that is almost meant to work together. I think that really works really nicely. Okay, that's all. That's all. Thank you for watching. As always, I wish you blessings.